Sponsored members of PhilHealth are those whose contributions are being paid for by another individual, government agencies, or private entities. Today, we'll talk about how to become a sponsored member through the Social Services Development Department, or SSDD. SSDD is the welfare arm of the Quezon City government that implements various programs and services that respond to the issues and concerns of different disadvantaged sectors at the individual, group, and community level. Different cities may have different label for this department. Ask your local PhilHealth office or your local government unit on how to become a PhilHealth sponsored member if you're in a different city. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Rogue Sector. The city you live in should have something like this in place since Republic Act number 11228 says that all PWDs shall be automatically covered under PhilHealth Insurance Corporation. Premium contributions for all PWDs shall be paid for by the national government. This is also known as the Magna Carta for people with disability. Just a little bit of history why I've done this. I recently quit my corporate job and I'm a PWD. I thought if I get sick, I need PhilHealth to lessen the financial burden. That's when I started researching and here we are. So let's move on to the things that we need. Oh, by the way, I'm assuming that you already are a PhilHealth member. If you're not, then check out this link on how to become one. You also need to have a PWD ID. If you don't have one yet, check this video out first, then circle back on this topic. The first thing you need to check is your PhilHealth record. Ensure that it is updated. Go to. If you already have an online PhilHealth account, go ahead and sign in. Else, click the Create Account link. Have your PhilHealth number ready. After signing in, check your account information. Take note of any details that needs to be updated, if there's any. Check your Consulta provider section. If it's blank, then it's time to put up one. Here are the steps. Take note of the name of your chosen Consulta provider, as well as any account information that needs to be updated. Next, go to this link and print out the PhilHealth Member Registration Form, or PMRF. Use a black pen. Use all capital letters. Put N/A if the information is not applicable to you. The info needed on the form are quite common, but let's discuss a few things that are potentially confusing. Write down your PhilHealth number without the dashes. Check the updating/amendment. The middle name is a name, not initial. Write down your complete middle name. In the Declaration of Dependents, eligible dependents are those who are not PhilHealth members. Once a person becomes a PhilHealth member, they are no longer eligible to be enlisted as dependent of someone else. For a member type, tick the person with disability, then write down your PWD ID number. For the updating/amendment section, if you have any correction to your name, birth date, sex, civil status or address, phone or email, then fill out this area. Include the current information on your record under the From column, then write down the updated information under the To column. Put your signature over your printed name, all capital letters. Write down the date. Important, make sure to complete the rest of the form. These are the easy ones. Next requirement is the original copy of your medical certificate or clinical abstract. Either one will do. You can obtain this from the institution where you got diagnosed. The hospital will ask for the purpose of such document. Tell them it's for Social Services Development Department. Original copy of Certificate of Indigency. You can get this from the barangay office. Bring a valid ID. They will ask you how long have you been a community resident and why do you need the certification. Tell them the same thing. It's for Social Services Development Department. I'm not quite sure why SSDD need this. The Magna Carta for people with disability does not discriminate between indigent, middle class, and affluent PWDs. Anyway, by now, you should have the following. Properly filled out PMRF, medical certificate or clinical abstract, certificate of indigency, PWD ID, and PhilHealth ID. Photocopy all of these documents. You need 2 copies for each of them. Next step is to head to Social Services Development Department building. Here is the location of the SSDD building. It is inside Quezon City Hall compound. It's on the third floor. Inform them that you're there for PhilHealth sponsorship. Give them photocopies of the documents unless they specifically ask for the original. They will ask you for some questions like how much is the household income, who are earning in the household, how many are there in a household, how much is the monthly expenses for food, water, electricity, what is the name of your neighbors, your front neighbor, left, right, and back neighbors, how long have you been living in a community, and then wait for your SSDD certification. Okay, it's not that long. I got mine the same day I went there. If you are a PWD who recently resigned from a job, PhilHealth may need to see your Certificate of Employment, or COE, indicating the date of your resignation. Again, this is only if your resignation is recent. PhilHealth was recently hacked, which left their satellite offices temporarily incapable of handling core transactions. I had to go to one of their main offices, which is in Fairview, to process my sponsorship. However, I suggest that you check with your nearest PhilHealth office first. Submit the PMRF, medical certificate or clinical abstract, certificate of indigency, certificate of employment, if resignation was recent, PWD ID, PhilHealth ID, SSDD certification. Again, submit photocopies unless they ask for originals. If everything's okay, they will give you a copy of your member's data record, or NDR. Check the member category. It should say indirect contributor. If so, then congratulations. You are now officially a sponsored member of PhilHealth. You have to do this every January though. Did you know that even working PWDs are eligible? Yes, they are. So, like this video so YouTube would know that this content is helpful. Subscribe and share, and let's spread this information to help our PWD brothers and sisters out there. In the Magna Carta for people with disability, it says that for those PWDs who are employed, their personal contributions are paid for by the local government, and the other half will be paid for by the company they're working for. This means that they should not see any deduction for PhilHealth contribution in their payslip. In normal scenario, PhilHealth's contribution is comprised of the following: 50% from the employee deducted from their paycheck, 50% from the company. In an employed PWD scenario, 50% from the local government, 50% from the company. The company should therefore only remit their part of the contribution and should not deduct PhilHealth premium from the PWD salary. However, this setup requires the PWD to visit SSDD every year. The caveat: it looks like the private sector, local government, and PhilHealth internal processes are not yet streamlined for this relatively new law. There you have it. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for spending your time with me here at Rogue Sector. I'll see you then.